What's up, guys? It's everyone's favorite Camputee here, and today I'm going to be testing this Black Arc ammo, and I'm going to be testing it through a 12-inch, a 14.5, a 16-inch, an 18, and a 20-inch gun. Now, for this testing, I'm going to be using a control of AAC's 77 grain Sierra Match King offering. I will be tracking my velocities using a lab radar, and I'll show you guys the shot groups after I shoot them. This particular lot number of Black Arc ammunition is 7. Lot number 7. You might be asking yourself, hey Cam, what's special about Black Arc ammunition and their 77 grain Sierra Match King offering? And what is special about it is that it uses a stainless steel case head. And because of that, they can go beyond the 62,000 PSI SAAMI standard that we have set for brass-cased ammunition out of a 5.56 chamber. Now, as I stated prior, I am using the 77 grain Sierra Match King offering from AAC as my control, and I will be first using this 12-inch barrel AR-15 with a primary arms 1-6. It's not the best optic for precision shooting, but we're gonna make lemonade today. Alright, so with the AAC out of the 12-inch, my average velocity was 2378. My high was 2396. My low was 2362. Wow, those are already good numbers. My extreme spread is, my extreme spread was 35. My standard deviation was 16.3, and number of shots, 5. I've given the barrel some time to cool down. I'm back out here now. I have 5 rounds of the Black Arc ammunition loaded up for the 12-inch AR-15 with a 1-6. I'm going to arm the lab radar, and I'm going to put in my hearing protection, and I'm going to fire a 5-round group. Alright guys, I could see the velocity. I was making sure that my lab radar was catching those shots, and holy shit. This is gonna sound like fucking nonsense, but out of a 12-inch barrel AR-15 shooting a 77 grain Sierra Match King, my average velocity was 2605. My high was 26. Come on now. My high was 2632. My low was 2572. Extreme spread of 60. Standard deviation 23.7, and my number of shots 5. That is impressive. Now I just need to see if the shot groups are impressive. Alright guys, I did a quick bore sight on this primary arms 1-6, and I switched it over from the 12-inch gun to my 14.5. On this 14.5, I have a suppressor, got a flashlight, that's not really important. I'm using the same lower receiver and the same test sequence. Alright guys, so just like before, I'm starting off with 5 rounds of 77 grain Sierra Match King AAC ammunition. And I'm going to arm the lab radar chronograph. I'm going to get behind the rifle, and I will be shooting at the top right diamond. let's check out these numbers, and then I will give the rifle some time to cool off, not only because I'm testing two different types of ammunition, so I want to do it off of a cool bore, but also because I have a suppressor on the end of this gun, and I don't want suppressor mirage to play a role in this test. The AAC out of the 14.5, my average velocity was 25.14. My high was 25.42. My low was 24.99. My extreme spread was 43. Standard deviation 18 flat. Number of shots picked up by the LabRadar 5. Alright, I'm going to give the gun some time to cool down, and then I'll bring you guys back out and we'll shoot some of this black arc out of this thing. Alright guys, so I am back from a short break. I have 5 rounds of black arc ammunition, 77 grain SMK, loaded up in this Clipazine. I'm going to load it into the 14.5 AR-15. I'm going to arm the LabRadar chronograph. I'm going to use the bottom of the diamond on the top right as my point of aim. Guys, again, this velocity is insane. The average was 27.22. The high was 27.34. The low, 27.09. Extreme spread of 25. Wow, that's a good fucking number. Standard deviation of 10.4. And the number of shots picked up by the LabRadar, 5. Those are very, very respectable numbers out of a 14.5 inch 5.56. Now let's go see if the shot group is respectable. Alright folks, moving right along. Now we're shooting a 16 inch 5.56 with a suppressor and a Vortex Gen 3 1-10 Razor. So let's see what we get out of the AAC, and then we'll see what we get out of the black arc ammunition. Alright, we're going to load up 5 rounds of AAC. We are going to arm the LabRadar chronograph, and we are going to shoot at the bottom left target. Guys, so our average velocity was 26.23. Our high was 26.51. Our low was 25.93. Our extreme spread was 58. Standard deviation 21.6. Number of shots picked up by the LabRadar chronograph was 5. Now, let's see what it can do with the black arc ammunition. Alright, this bastard sat for about 10 minutes now, so load up the mag, round in the chamber, arm. Nope. I need to go back. I need to start a new series. There we go. We are going to arm the LabRadar chronograph, and we are going to aim at the bottom left diamond. Alright guys, so out of the 16 inch, the average was 28.31, the high was 28.91, the low was 27.56, the extreme spread was 136, goddamn, standard deviation 49.7, and number of shots 5. That's interesting. So the reason that I purchased this ammunition to test was because the only time I saw this fired, this ammunition fired, was out of a 16-inch gun that a friend of mine owned. And the velocity numbers were impressive and right on par with the numbers that I got today, but the extreme spread and the standard deviation were not ideal numbers. And I am replicating that today with this 16-inch gun. So this is very interesting to me. 16-inch barrels might not like black arc ammunition. That might not be the proper burn rate or time of shot exit for a 16-inch barrel. So that's really interesting that I got similar results out of two 16-inch guns with this ammunition. For my next test, I will be using an 18-inch barrel 5.56 with a suppressor and a primary arms 2.5 to 10. All right, Chanel, let's go on ahead and fuck this pigeon. Alright, so with the AAC ammunition out of this 18-inch barrel, 5.56, my average velocity was 26.52. My high was 26.86. My low was 26.34. My extreme spread was 52. Standard deviation was 20.1. And number of shots picked up by the LabRadar chronograph was 5. That's slow for an 18-inch gun. That's real slow. That's almost the same velocity that I got with the 16-inch. Huh. Maybe this is a slow barrel. We'll find out when I run some black arc through it, huh? While I'm waiting for the rifle and suppressor to cool down, I'm gonna use this opportunity to thank the sponsors of my channel. There are no sponsors of my channel. I buy all this shit myself. Yeah. God damn, it's fast. Inch barrel. My average velocity was 28.73. My high was 29.19. My low was 28.39. My extreme spread was 80. Standard deviation 29.9. And number of shots picked up by the LabRadar was 5. Alright, final test is about to come up. 20-inch barrel gun. Alright guys, so the last gun in the shoot today is the Jackhammer 2.0, which, as some of you guys who have followed my channel for years know, that this was my original match rifle, what I used to shoot a lot of competitions with. It is a 20-inch barrel 5.56 with a black hole weaponry barrel and a primary arms 4-14 R-grid scope on it. And this is the original R-grid that they don't make anymore. Now they have the R-grid 2B, which I have a few of those and I think they're awesome. But anyway, let's shut up and shoot. Alright, I had to change my setup over here a bit because this has a pretty rowdy muzzle brake on it. And if you have a muzzle brake on the end of your gun, you don't want it to be right in line with your LabRadar chronograph, or you can either fuck it up or you'll cause it to move and not pick up your shot. So anyway, I have some stuff moved around. I am running out of targets down there. Alright, so out of my 20-inch 5.56, My average with the AAC was 2730. My high was 2777. My low was 2694. My extreme spread was 82. Ugh. Standard deviation of 32.4. Also gross. Number of shots, 5. Alright, let's give the gun a few minutes to cool off, and then we'll run some of that black arc ammunition through it. You know, I'm getting married tomorrow. Again. I've got rehearsal later. Alright, so 5 more rounds of black arc ammunition, this time out of the 20-inch. Let's go ahead. Ninja Turtle hand slipped it right off there. Let's go ahead and arm. Oh, actually, let me go ahead and do the things. And we'll go ahead and arm the lab radar. And we will aim for the bottom of the large diamond. I can already tell that's a very respectable group. Out of the black arc ammunition and the 20-inch barrel, my average velocity was 29.25. My high was 29.55. My low was 29.08. My extreme spread was 47. That's not bad. My standard deviation was 18. Number of shots picked up by the lab radar chronograph was 5. I plan on doing more testing with black arc ammunition, but from the results that I've seen today, I can say that I'm impressed.